So the project that I have coming up right now is the self-portrait project. This is always a big one with kids because they have to portray themselves. And this is either from the technical sense or the figurative sense. So the technical sense is accuracy, you know, like this looks like you, it looks your developmental age, this has a quality of being representative or recognizable as you. So then there's the figurative, which the students that have the technical skills to portray well tend to portray themselves either consciously or unconsciously in a certain way. And this certain way is indicative of their station in life. So they portray themselves a little bit more accurately because you can read what they included in the artwork as characteristics of themselves. So whether they know it or not, their technical level versus their figurative level are both representative of what they can do. So if you see a picture, and let's say the kid drew it, and it looks like them. They got the hair color right, or the hair length right. They've got the right color eyes. They've got the nose, mouth, whatever. The body looks very rigid or straight or noodle armed or something like that. So this is a testament that they have been unable to express or learn or develop this sense. And typically that's kids that follow rules really well, or have people dictating a lot in their life. Like, their choices are small. So they're still working on these basics, these fundamentals, really. And so this doesn't say that they're at a lower level cognitively, but expressively, or the what's going on in their life, essentially. So the kids that are more developed in their fundamentals are now more expressive through other means because they've been able to think about these things. They've been able to dwell. They unpackage this about themselves. So they show themselves in a certain manner. And it's how they want to be portrayed. It's projection. And it says something about what they want to be seen, or they think that they're seen as. So it becomes very telling about what the person is at that developmental level. And art does this amazing ability because there's so much to it. You've got the physical aspects, which are the can I move my arm in the correct directions to make these lines, make these marks. So there's this developmental. So that's the physical. Can I just make the movements? And then there's the mental, which is like, okay, do I have all these check marks? Do I do step 1, step 2, step 3 well enough that it's representative of what I'm trying to represent? So you've got the physical, the mental, the emotional. Okay, how do I feel about this? What are things that I like, don't like, and I start including those things. I don't like drawing my eyes, so I cover them up some way, or I like drawing this part of me, so I do this. So it's revealing of like what mental levels or emotional levels do I like this enough to put it in here, or don't I like that? Insecurities and securities. So that's the emotional. So we've got the physical, mental, emotional. The social is how it's seen by others. Like, is this reflective of what I'm capable of socially. So does this understand? I know that this understanding is there, or this isn't. Does this look okay? I think it looks okay. Now I need validation. Okay, I know that other people will think this is good, so I want to include that. So there's always this level of validation, or like or dislike. So physical, mental, social, emotional, and the spiritual. Like, is this an accurate portrayal of me? Of like, you're casting this projection of yourself or your skills onto the paper. So you're found, or you're finding this station where you think you belong in existence. Not to be too grandiose with it, but that's the gist of it. So these things are portrayed in art, and particularly through self-portrait, you've got all these functions working together of what is this person, and what they translate onto the paper is very accurate of them as a whole person, the whole person. So these become landmarks, or cross sections, or checkpoints in their life. This is what I look like, or this is what I understand, or this was what I am in this given moment. Now they might develop more, and they might improve their skills, or they might improve their mentality, blah blah blah. And the next time they do it, because they're learning something. Something has changed since the last time that I did this. And it might be directly art related, or it might be some other faculty of, or faction of life. And this all becomes confessions if you know how to read them. So it is the job of the art educator, myself, to understand what these mean and make these associations. But to do that, you need to know the person well enough that you see those connections. You're like, oh, that's what that means. This is what this action means. Like, you talk about kids with behavioral emotional problems in their lives, and they act out of accordance to the standard of behavior in either classroom or society. So that action becomes a question. Why did they act this way? Why did they scream at me? Why did they sleep through class? Whatever, you know, these indicators of something's amiss. So it becomes the question, or the search. What is this? Like being an investigation, a detective of what are all these pieces equal an answer to the puzzle. You assemble them all together, you get to see the whole picture. So sometimes you got to guess what the picture is, or what the clues are alluding to. And being a good enough teacher to understand those things, and then relate them to what does this picture say about the student. And some of these things are good. Like, you're doing a great job on this. This says this about your life. And these are the bad things. And being honest, getting into those hard truths are really rough, because people don't want to hear the bad. Or they can't deal with the bad, or they've been ignoring the bad. They've been shutting this off. So they don't want to deal with it. So hearing these things is difficult, and it hurts at times, or it saddens. It brings you to light of these things in your life. So the question is this okay? Should one who can read this and make these connections and these understandings and know the student well enough that they should be addressing these things? And then that brings in the whole question of trust, morality. Do I trust this person to not misuse these thoughts, these assumptions, these clues and make these assertions because it might upset? Or should I tell you about these things? Do I have the moral compass that my pure intention for telling you these things is nothing but the best? No ulterior motives. I get no gain out of this. In fact, probably you'll be pissed at me or you'll be angry at me because I did address these things. But the thing is, that's the station, in my estimate, of a good teacher, is to be trustworthy to the point of I can say things that are hurtful or uneasy with the intent to help you improve your life and nothing else. So I'm doing this self-portrait project with my kids, and this is what I think about. This is what I wonder. And I don't trust society enough, or how this could be misinterpreted. The misinterpretation is something that I struggle with. Don't misinterpret these actions as negative, because wholeheartedly I want nothing but the best and the happiest, successful direction of life. I want nothing but the best. But does everybody else know that? Yeah. So this is what I'm going to propose. I got to ask the kids, because I don't really trust anybody else. And if the kids say yes, that means I'm trusting that they are aware of everything that I just stated. You know that I'm doing this for the best of you, right? So that you're not going to paint what I did or put my the context of this exercise in a light that would be negative to you, me, or anything that this exercise entails. So that's all I have to say about that. Do more, do better.